This massive stockpile of offerings varies from the routine
It is one of a kind.
to the remarkable,
We call it the Hero Bike.
including a custom-made machine like no other.
It's the largest, heaviest, and kind of most significant piece that we have in our collection.
The Hero Bike honors the 37 men from Wisconsin listed as either prisoners of war or missing in action.
It was left at the wall in 1995 by this group of veterans. They're part of Rolling Thunder.
They rolled that year 900 miles from Wisconsin to the wall, pulling a trailer loaded with that handcrafted chopper. They left that bike at the wall to be consumed by history as a symbol of devotion to men left behind. Each man is represented by a dog tag, inscribed on the seat, "Bring 'em home or send us back." This hog has never been ridden. It can't until all 37 men come home. There are few places on the American landscape as revered as the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. The wall, simple in its power, is not political. It doesn't need to be.
It symbolizes sacrifice.
Hiding behind a sloping hillside, this black granite monument, gleaming like a mirror, pays tribute to the more than 58,000 lives lost in a conflict that still haunts a nation. And every year, millions gaze upon the cherished, chiseled names of the fallen.
It brings you closer to your lost loved ones.
Here, we reflect on a sorrowful past and, for some, a still painful present.
You want to go down to the E13 wall?
It's become a tradition for Ed Holterman
But this panel right here,
to return to this very spot at the wall every Memorial Day weekend.
is a Vietnam veteran. Rolling Thunder is the sound of that big plane dropping all that bomb. You can hear it.
But for nearly 50 years, Holterman could not bear to be here, to walk the cobblestone path, to face an old friend he believes he disappointed so long ago.
I knew these guys. The one guy saved my life, and he's here.
Holterman says during the war he had too much to drink one night and could not work the next morning. The man who replaced him on that mission was killed.
I wanted to say I was sorry. I have had, for all these years, a lot of guilt, a lot of anger, a lot of just general disgusted with myself and everything that happened.
Holterman recently left his original Vietnam veteran's ball cap at the wall for that comrade.
Well said.
To dull a pain that will likely never fully recede. Other more unique items find their way here and then to the warehouse, so parents can share with the world a part of their soldier's story that's far removed from the blood-soaked battlefields of Vietnam.
So I cataloged this recently after discovering it in a box, and I thought it was odd because of how heavy the box was, so of course I had to look into it and see what was inside of it.
Roller skates, and not just any pair from any body.
Terry Lee Moore, a Vietnam veteran, killed in action May 6, 1968.
Moore won nearly 100 trophies and medals in competitive skating
There's also a free skating ticket that was left with it.
before leaving the carefree world of the rink for the jungles of Southeast Asia.
You can look on the wall and see the name, but you don't really know anything about the person until you see the story. It's kind of like piecing together a puzzle.
This wondrous gathering of memory also sits beside profound sadness. These shelves hold so many reminders of soldiers who can no longer speak for themselves. But we found one small item hidden from the public for a generation that tells a young pilot's story in his own words.
So this is a 1/4 inch magnetic reel. It contains actual vocal recordings from a person who served in Vietnam. This was made by Robert Prine.
Well, hello. How is every little thing on the home front? I am in Bravo Troop, 1st of the 9th Cavalry, and I am presently in An Khê, Vietnam.
Rob Prine grew up in Daytona Beach, Florida.
The ones that are colored are definitely originals.
His younger brother Rick says life with Rob, the oldest brother, was never dull.
It was a crazy household. There were 6 siblings, and my mother was on her own. She had been divorced.
Rick says Rob willingly took on the role of surrogate father in the family, and when war called, Rob volunteered. Before leaving for Vietnam, he made a promise to his sweetheart Sandy Yeager. They decided to get married when Rob returned.
Well, I heard from my brother Rob that, hey, when I get back, Sandy and I are going to get married, and we're going to have kids, lots of kids.
Rob's connection to family ran deep.
These are postcards that Rob sent home.
He corresponded with loved ones every chance that he could get while heading into harm's way. But what Rob Prine shipped stateside next is now a part of our nation's history.
And he sent it to a Miss Sandra Yeager in Atlanta, Georgia. We actually recently had this digitized, so I was probably the first person to listen to his recording since it was left at the wall in 1989.
Prine made reel-to-reel tape recordings while in Vietnam.
Well, hello, y'all. I figure I'll send you some words here.
It's late January 1968. Prine is based out of An Khê, the largest helicopter base in the world at the time.
Hotel 49, looks like that's landing.
An Khê also served as a critical transportation and tactical hub for U.S. military operations.
I'll go forward Monday, I believe, either Monday or Tuesday. And that's to our area of operation. And that's where I guess we start the war.
On only his 20th day in Vietnam, this 21-year-old crashed the helicopter he was piloting in foul weather.
I went ballistic. I could not control myself because he meant so much to me and the rest of the family, and he was gone.
For years, Rick dreamed of a scenario never to be, that his resourceful brother had somehow survived that crash.
Of course, that didn't happen, but you always want to hope to see your brother again because he was special.
The tapes arrived stateside soon after Rob's death.
They loved each other tremendously.